This is insane. Bungie has just introduced the most bizarre Eververse money-making scheme that we have ever seen. We have now a cosmetic that you can earn in Destiny 2 by suffering in Trials of Osiris and making it to the Lighthouse. And after you get that cosmetic unlocked by going to Lighthouse, you then have to pay money for it. Yes. So I can't even say it with a straight face. You literally have to earn it in-game to then earn the ability to spend money to buy it. Who the fuck cooked this up? This news comes to us from Benny, who's a content creator. He says, Bungie asked me to reveal a new ornament available after going flawless in the Edge of Fate trials. Kind of like a Bungie reward, but in-game. It will require you to go flawless and then become purchasable. Initially, silver to purchase, but later in the season will be bright dust. Man, interesting one. I think it's really interesting that they're having this be revealed to everyone via a content creator. This is an interesting marketing strategy that we haven't seen yet in Destiny 2. I don't mean this to be so overtly negative, but like they almost use the content creator as like a shield in this way, right? Because poor Benny here, you know, he's just trying to play some trials. He's just happy that he gets to, you know, flown out to Bungie and all of that. If Bungie revealed this, right, on the official Destiny 2 channels, the negativity would be insane, right? They'd be like, really? You're going to make us work to unlock stuff and then just to pay for it? You have to work for the ability to then pay for it? Not the best. Not the best approach. All right. This is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. This ornament looks incredible, though. Let's just start off there. Bungie knows what sells, right? They have the back-end info on all their Eververse cosmetics. So they can very quickly decipher if an ornament is going to get a lot of money, you know? And making this free for everyone just by going flawless, which is already very difficult to do. And the trials population is suffering enough that putting this at the finish line of the Lighthouse is already a task that a lot of people would say, yeah, that looks good, but like I ain't suffering in trials for it. But now you have the added burden of going into trials, suffering for a cosmetic. You know, it doesn't make you more powerful. It looks incredible though. Literally 10 out of 10. Love the aesthetic of it. But then you also have to pay money for it afterwards. Pretty crazy stuff. We have some community feedback in response to this. We got Scaro here says, I'm fine and even encourage this sort of thing. There's a caveat though. If, big if, we can get some sort of confirmation that at least some of these raised funds will go back into improving Crucible. More maps, rewards, limited events, etc. I mean, it should always be that any money that goes into the game should go into improvement of Crucible and things like that. I don't think the Bungie is going to come out and say that outright necessarily, but that obviously should be the case at any stage, right? However, I don't think that further monetizing the game should be seen in any sort of positive light. We had a video from Azdacross go live called Monetization Hell. Destiny 2 is still in that stage, right? Right now, they've even talked about how Bungie really needs to build our trust back, right? You have to have trust, GDC, trust, Destiny 2. It was like trust, and then trust builds retention, and then retention builds monetization. Yeah, like this one, right? It was beware of over-delivery, right? This is the one, yes. Velocity more important than position. Let's find this here. Yes, this is what it is. First, trust, then retention, then revenue. Now, Azdacross recently made a video talking about how Bungie is really at the first stage right now. After everything all the recent events that have happened, they really need to work to rebuild the trust of the Destiny 2 community. And instead, we're getting revenue. Instead, we're getting earning in-game loot and then having to pay for it. And here's the reason why we need to show this as much immense criticism and backlash within reason. We're not trying to be toxic about it here, but we need to show this as much backlash as possible because we don't want this to become a pattern, okay? We don't want to have to beat the raid, and after you beat the raid, you have to then go to Eververse and buy the cosmetic for the new raid exotic, right? Imagine that's the case. Imagine you beat the raid, and instead of getting your 48-hour emblem, you have to go to Eververse and buy your emblem for $5. This is a whole new frontier that we're going into, which is actually suiting for, you know, we're going into frontiers, right? We need to let Bungie know this is not good. This is not okay. This is terrible. This is so unacceptable that I hope this receives the most backlash of anything in Edge of Fate. And I do find it a little bit odd and weird that they reveal something that they know is going to get a lot of, they know this is going to get a lot of backlash, but they kind of use a content creator as a scapegoat in this one. They're like, hey, you reveal this thing, because then maybe everyone won't be as mad at you, because, you know, Benny's a great guy. Nothing against Benny, you know, he's just like, hey, I just like playing trials. He likes playing trials. He likes making content, you know, he doesn't know any better. He's the scapegoat. They're using him as the front man right now. They're like, hey, you reveal this new crazy idea that we have that's going to piss everyone off. You see people like, you know, please carry me. You got, this is actually so cool. You got fire. I've been wanting this for my shotgun. This guy, there we go. Here's the based opinion here. Extremely cool, but the whole Eververse part seems so unnecessary. Thank you. Oh my God. Are we following this guy? Yes, we are. Good. Based opinion. Excellent. Definitely well deserved. My God. I was going to say, if everyone replying to this is just like, oh my God, I can't wait. I love this. Let me open up my wallet. I might scream, because that's just not the right response to this at all. We got everyone saying like, we're going to jump into trials now. And again, I'm not trying to just pour a bunch of negativity on it, but yeah, here we go. Boo, Eververse purchase, boo. It's sexy though. That's, you know what? That's actually my exact opinion. Boo, Eververse purchase, boo. It is kind of sexy though, you know? It looks really good. Eventually you're going to have to wait around for it to be available for Bright Dust. So they do try to soften the blow a little bit here, right? It's not just forever going to be behind a paywall. Man, this rubs me the wrong way. This rubs me the wrong way. This is like full-on monetization hell 2.0 is what this is, right? Maybe Aztec, I'll have to cook up that video. Monetization hell 2.0 from Aztec with this one, because this is crazy. That's what we'll have to title this video. This video is monetization 2.0. Monetization hell 2.0. Oh, man. This guy, yeah, says, of course it's not free, man. Yes, thank you. This guy says, I'm sorry, but talk to the team. This is a major L. Either make it unlocked and obtained through playing trials, or just sell it in Eververse. This is the most silliest stipulation I've ever seen in this game. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. And no hate or negativity towards Benny. Like I said, he's just like, he probably didn't even know what the hell he's signing up for with this one. He didn't realize he was going to be the scapegoat on this one. But apparently Bungie has a new marketing strategy for revealing their crazy Eververse ideas, right? They're going to have content creators reveal them for them instead of just outright saying it. If this was on the official Destiny 2 Twitter account, could you imagine? It would be ratioed into oblivion. The post would have 100 likes. The majority of people, the replies would have 1,000 likes saying, what the fuck? That's my opinion on this. Let me know what you think. Again, it could be a slippery slope fallacy that maybe this is a one-time thing, but I think that it's pretty obvious that Bungie is experimenting with some new monetization strategies in the game. This is the first time we've seen this. You earn it in-game. You have to do some crazy shit. Going to Lighthouse ain't easy. Even with the new cards, you know, you have to suffer out there for quite a while until you finally make it, especially for the casual folks. And then when you do get there, you're still locked behind a paywall. Not a big fan of that. This cosmetic, though, is so damn good looking that people are going to buy it. People in Destiny 2, they don't care if something looks good enough, though, right? And that's kind of the way what our opinion is about Edge of Fate. It's kind of a microcosm for why there's so much backlash for the Edge of Fate, because if the cosmetic looks so fucking good, we'll just pay money for it. It's like, fuck it. We'll pay money for it. We'll do it. We'll pay. People in this game pay money to play with cheaters and get carried by cheaters, right? We've seen this time and time again. Of course, they're getting carried by cheaters and get carried by cheaters in trials. Of course they'll pay for it. They'll probably pay cheaters to carry them in trials to then pay for the cosmetic. Others, the people I would like to say are reasonable, the people that, you know, have some sense and some wits about them, they're going to wait for the Bright Dust, right? How long will that be? You have to wait later in the season, it says. How much later will they make you wait? A month, 2 months, the day before Renegades launches, which would be 6 months. Who knows how they're going to time gate this? But I think that if enough backlash was pushed onto Bungie, especially with everything else that's going on, I think that we could convince Bungie to do the right thing here and just make it available by going flawless. I think we could. If you don't know, these games make so much money from cosmetics right now that a lot of these free-to-play games make 80%, or not just free-to-play games, but a lot of these games in general, free-to-play or not, make 80% of their revenue from cosmetics, from microtransactions. So they know that a cosmetic like this is going to make them a ton of money. Someone said, L take, Bungie deserves all my money. In fact, we should have to trade our organs for silver, in my opinion. You know what? You better stop, all right? Bungie knows that if here's the other caveat to this. If they just made it purchasable alone, people would be upset because it's a trials ornament, right? People are like, what the hell? That's a trials ornament. Put it behind trials, right? We've had this long ongoing war with Bungie and cosmetics for a while now. and it's seemingly it's the forever fight, which is where we're fighting against them and their efforts to make us pay for and squeeze us for everything. They're trying to squeeze every last dollar out of us, so that way they can fund this game for just another expansion, We just need another hit of that money out of you. You just gotta squeeze it. This is just not a good look right now. This is not a good look at a stage when Bungie really needs a W. They need a W. And even if they change it right now and say, all right, we're gonna remove the ability to purchase this, right? You just get it when you go to the lighthouse. Even then, it's like you created the problem and then you solved it. It's like, all right, like you tried to pull a fast one. Everyone called you out and then you had to cave to the pressure. That's probably what will happen, right? I mean, we're very late in this right now as well. So they almost released this before even showing that this was going to happen. Like this is almost just going to be a part of Edge of Fate and we were going to find out on day one. Like this is just bringing us the news just days before the Edge of Fate. Not a good look for them. This one, no. And like I said, it starts here. It's locked behind Trials Flawless and a paywall, and it's going to proceed further. If you don't put the pressure on Bungie for this one, if you let this one go, if you spend money on this, pretty soon it's going to be you clear the new raid, and then that big pop-up comes up. Now you can go buy the ornament, right? And it's just going to go time and time again, where you have to earn things and then pay for them. You could fix this in a variety of ways too. You could have it be a chance that it drops from the chest, and maybe you can purchase it in Eververse as well. I know that Bungie has to recoup some of their losses when they spend money on this, but these things are making them such a profit that it's kind of a silly thing to say, because like one artist making this doesn't incur so much debt for Bungie that they have to charge thousands and thousands of players that probably what, $10 for this fucking thing, right? The ROI for these cosmetics is incredible, to the point where you would be astonished at the ROI, because one artist puts together these pieces to make this weapon, and you pay them their salary, and it takes them, I don't know, let's just say it took them a month to make it, whatever. Well, the ROI is like 25,000 times the revenue it costs to spend on that. And so then the money from that bleeds into other things. They use the money from these cosmetics to fund future expansions and future PvP things or whatever that they're going to do. This game is largely floating on its cosmetics. All games are right now, but Destiny 2 especially, with all the crazy monetization that they have with all these cosmetics. You don't realize, or maybe you haven't fully realized yet, but this game lives off of Eververse. Without Eververse, if Eververse shut down, like, not that Bungie could do this, but if Eververse just shut down and stopped selling things or receiving money, everything was free and they stopped pumping new things, the game would shut its doors in no time. The game would be shut down in less than like 2 months. The game would be shut down. The whole entire studio, the bills are all being paid for, all the salaries are being paid for from Eververse cosmetics. Like, it's literally funding the whole fucking thing. They bank on this stuff a lot, and their ROI is incredible. They could make these things much cheaper, or they could make them free from time to time, but they can't all be free because, like I said, if all the cosmetics are free, the Bungie shuts their doors. They're literally relying on it so much. Anyone who buys it will get bagged, like made fun of. No, I don't think they would get bagged. It looks incredible. People will spend their money frivolously. I've never been angry. I have teased people before in the past when there was like a $10 emote and they bought it. I'm like, you bought that, bruh? $10, come on. So I have teased people in the past for spending like crazy amounts of money on like an emote. I don't know. I have mixed opinions. The only reason why I have a slight mixed opinion, this obviously shouldn't happen, but I have mixed opinions in terms of the fact that Bungie does need the money for this stuff. I feel like they're kind of tying in people's desire for trials. It's a weird twist of things. Usually the cosmetics are kind of separate from the playlist and the core activities. I feel like we're entering a new era where the cosmetics are tied into other things, where it's like, this is a trials cosmetic. This is a core playlist cosmetic. And this should be earned from going to the lighthouse, this particularly. But everyone will argue, or people that want to be on the side of more positivity or defend Bungie, they'll be on the side of like, hey, you don't have to buy it. Like, you could just like play the game and not buy it. You'll be fine. It's just a cosmetic. It just makes your gun look different. It's not going to ruin your day if you can't buy it, right? Which is fair. It's not going to ruin my day if I can't buy it, but it is in the game. It does look incredible. You do want it. You understand what Bungie's doing here. You know, we'll see what the backlash is like. We'll see how Bungie chooses to handle this one.